We received a comment recently on one of our videos, and somebody said that it must be a real emotional roller coaster trying to keep our Greek dream alive whilst commuting back and forward from the UK and having such little time in Greece sometimes. I think it was off the back of one of those videos where we were just rushing between places. And we got a good dose of that on our last trip, didn't we? When we was only there for a few days preparing a house for people to come and stay. Everything was going to plan, and then just a matter of hours before we were due to fly home, the swimming pool decided to spring a leak, and all of those highs suddenly turned into lows. So we're going to show you in this video what it actually takes to keep that dream alive, and it's not easy, is it? It's the word that she used was roller coaster, and roller coaster is appropriate.
Absolutely. The lovely people at Golden Mile that we rent the bike from, he always clocks whether I've got my sunglasses on when we're leaving and whether I've got a little tear in my eye before I'm coming back again.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's definitely an emotional roller coaster.
Definitely emotional. Yeah, quite often physical.
Always physical.
Yeah, there's a lot of sitting down work done at home, and then a lot of physical work done when we get to the villa. So you kind of go from one to the other.
A lot of physical work done at home. Like we recently built the kitchen, didn't we?
We did. Yeah, the Greek kitchen in our home here in the UK.
And then obviously you got the physical side of it when you get there, because you're setting it all up again and trying to have a bit of a holiday. I mean, which is almost impossible when you've only got 3 days there, isn't it? And you've got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, I think holiday, we could use that phrase lightly now.
What's a holiday?
If we get to sit down for an hour on the beach, I think we're really lucky, and that's over a weekend or 4 days, not even every day.
I think the last time we had a holiday was before we bought the villa.
I think it was.
But no, it does take its toll. But I mean, we've said a lot recently, haven't we, that if we weren't doing this, what else would we be doing with our lives? We'd probably, we picked.
Yeah, I think a lot of you know that over winter we struggled a bit with being able to get out to the villa and being in the UK in the dark months, and we did, wonder whether we should still carry on. And a lot of you were amazing and kind of gave it a bit of a pep and keep going, guys, and you're doing really well. But that is what it's like. It's real highs and lows, coming and going. Working sometimes really, really long hours here in the UK because we're both self-employed, to be able to then have time off to be able to go to the villa to work some more in a different capacity. So, and there's a lot of organisation that goes into it. I mean, yes, our children are getting older now and more capable of managing without us, but the dog can't. The dog still can't.
No, the dog's going backwards. Yeah. The dog needs more attention than ever.
She does. Yeah, I'm looking over there because she's been sulking because she knows we're filming.
But one of the things that we've sacrificed since we began filming making our YouTube videos and filming everything that we do is outdoors time, because we're quite outdoorsy people, aren't we? We like to be out and about a lot, but making videos and stuff like that means that we've got to be in a lot. We've got to be filming or talking about what we're going to film, or actually editing what we've filmed.
Yeah, I don't know how many people out there actually know this, and I know Chris won't want me to touch on this too much, but it takes him about 10 hours. If he's doing a video, it takes him about 10 hours of editing and prepping and planning and doing thumbnails and music and SEO stuff. There's really a lot goes into those videos, and like we've just touched on, we work full time, we're parents. It's quite the challenge sometimes, isn't it? Trying to juggle everything.
Yeah.
But somehow we're still here.
We're still trying to manage, and we are managing. It's not easy, but and going from being active and out and about all of the time to sittings down for 10 hours plus a week has been a bit of a challenge and a bit annoying. But
yeah,
we've had someone get in touch recently and give us a lovely bit of kit that we're just going to show you in a minute, which means we can both sit and work whilst riding a bike.
Yeah,
which is quite exciting.
It is exciting. Something you notice when you land yourself in the social media world and watch yourself back on video or on the telly or wherever you're looking at yourself can be a little bit cringeworthy. So you start thinking more about your appearance and how you're showing up. And so, yeah, exercising and looking after yourself is critical and important. And like Chris says, if you're sitting down a lot of the time, not moving, you start to notice it. So yeah, we're really chuffed we've been sent this amazing piece of kit to try out, which means we can juggle a bit more and have the best of both worlds.
So let's go and show you around that piece of kit.
Let's go.
All right, I'm just going to get the bike ready for Jo to jump on and do a strenuous workout because she's that type of person. So the seat can be adjusted easily like that. You can also adjust the handlebar height. We're good to go.
I'm going to go onto the app, plug in, which is also connected to the back of the bike. So
remember, you control the dial. I'm going to give you some guidelines and I want you to stick with it. But if you're feeling breathless or it's too heavy, back it off yourself. Hands in the middle. We're starting off riding easy. In 3, 2, 1, let's go.
This bike is also compatible with the Peloton app.
50 to 40, baby. We have 3 cadence efforts in this warm-up. You're welcome. We're below the rhythm, and we're going to catch that rhythm 105 to 115. But first, give me a deep inhale right here. As you exhale, let go of everything that you feel like you need to be.
Okay, so I'm probably not going to use the bike for that kind of exercise too often, but what I'm going to use it for, and I'm definitely going to use it a lot, is for my editing. Now, this is where I sit and make the videos. My screen is here, my laptop is here, and I just sit there for hours, like we explained at the start of the video, which can get a bit monotonous and a bit boring. So I've just plugged the laptop in. It's got a nice base here, which the laptop just sits on pretty nicely. Look, that's pretty solid. And there we are. This is one of our videos. So here we go. We can just zoom in and out, skip through clips. If we go full screen, that's pretty clear, that, isn't it? That looks really cool. So look, as you can see, there's absolutely no movement here at all. So I can rest the palms of my hands on the bike here, and I can still use the trackpad pretty easily. So I think that's enough of life in the UK. Why don't we head over to Greece and see how we deal with the ups and downs that life throws at us over there. All right. My delightful partner in crime has enforced a break upon me because I can find myself getting very caught up in Renovation and YouTube. And she's told me to sort myself out and we need to get away. And she's, as always, totally right. So we're going to go for a walk along the harbour, grab a coffee or an affogato and an ice cream, and try to remember one of the other reasons why we decided to live this kind of life, because it isn't just to renovate this place, it's to try to enjoy ourselves at the same time. Correct?
Absolutely.
You ready?
I am.
Let's go.
My happy place.
This is where Jo came for a run this morning. So this is the bottom of the seafront in the main town, isn't it?
Yes, this is Zante Harbour.
This way. And behind us is the ferry. And we've got like pretty happy memories of the ferry, and we like getting the ferry over here.
It's a bit of a horrible drive from the port of Kyllini.
From Athens.
From Athens to the port of Kyllini. It's a real long 3-hour straight road, not much to see kind of drive. It's quite tiring after a flight, and then you've got the ferry. But once you get to the ferry port, even in Kyllini, it's like this little bubble of excitement inside you that you...
Anticipation.
Yeah, you know you're nearly there. So.
Yeah. It's a lovely feeling being on that ferry once you're actually on it, isn't it? And you're making your way to the island. And as you approach the island, this is the view. That's the main church of Saint Dionysius, which is the patron saint of this whole island. So the ferry arrives there. You drive along up here, and if we're going home, you go off up there.
We do. Yes.
So this is the as we're approaching Maytown, and as you can see, it's full of restaurants mainly, cafes, couple of bars.
Yeah.
A couple of really trendy bars a bit further up. That's lovely, isn't it? Lovely spot.
It is. It's so mad. I know we've talked about this before, but Sis and I fell in love with the island
Before we knew this town was even here.
We'd never even been to the town
until
after we bought the villa. And then when we came to the town to meet we came to town to meet the solicitor, didn't we? And we were like,
he kind of took us on a walking tour, didn't he?
He did. He walked us all around.
This little fishing boat here always makes me smile. It doesn't even look at it. It's always there.
Box.
It's literally like a floating box. Obviously does the job though, because it's always there ready to be used each morning, I imagine. Just looking at that building there, you can see the Venetian influences of this island and all of it, and lots of the architecture, but particularly we've got those curved railings and shady verandas like that.
Beautiful.
That's one of the really nice hotels that's along the seafront there, and look at the view behind. Stunning, isn't it? That's the view you get through all of the alleyways that falls from the seafront onto the town centre. You always see it's the Bali and the vistas. Stunning place. So that was where we began our journey. Don't you think it's crazy that we never knew that this town even was here when we decided to buy the house?
Yeah, 100%.
And now we spend, when we go out, we generally come here for a walk.
This is where we come, yeah. Yeah, well, especially out of season when the resorts haven't opened fully, this is the one place that you know there will be life.
And this is the top of our high street, and it goes on for, maybe a mile. It starts off with all these boutique tourist type shops, doesn't it? And then morphs into shops that locals would use, like, net curtains, little greengrocers, charcoal shops. But it's nice, isn't it? It's just
a good mix of lots of things, actually. Jewellers, clothing brands, like foam repairs.
Yeah, tech shops.
Yeah.
Camera shops. But the architecture in this place is stunning. I love it. Look at those buildings. Those curved balconies.
One day it's where Joe would like to find.
Yeah. Look at that one there, with all of the vines and stuff. It's all stunning.
All right, we are at our favourite ice cream spot, and we have affogato. This is your first affogato? All right, we're going to live stream Joe's first experience of affogato.
Do I use Spain at rock?
Try to do whatever you want to. It's good?
It's so good.
What flavour did you get? Yeah.
It's like a really dark chocolate. I'm not sure exactly what it was.
So now
it's
you're like
really tropical there. No.
And I've got some kind of creamy biscuit ice cream. I like creamy biscuit ice cream. Let's try it.
Sorry again.
All right.
Yeah. And we might have this stuff.
Oh, not about it. Look at that. Big, it looks big. Parcel as well. But that's a pistachio ice cream.
It's
Joe's love pistachio ice cream, and I'm quite partial to it as well. Okay, let's enjoy.
Well, that's buildings I found rich.
This is what our life has been like since we've been together. Estate agents' windows and looking in abandoned old buildings.
Joe likes to find the crumbliest, most broken properties possible.
I can't see it.
And wonders, have a look through there, and wonders if Chris can fix it.
Well, good Lord. There's literally nothing left inside. Okay, we are coming to the end of our walk. It's a lovely way to spend a couple of hours, isn't it?
Yes, it's really lovely.
A few thousand steps, a little chill in the shade, walk around the shady streets and the sea.
Look at all the abandoned buildings and terrify Chris with my next plan.
Yeah, we don't really have enough to be going on with at the moment, do we? We've got an unfinished house in the UK, we've got an unfinished house in Greece.
Bored.
Why don't we get another one? Anyway, that's the end of our walk. We're going to go back and crack on with something. We've got a long list.
We do.
Always plenty to do. Let's go do it.
Later.